This is physical endurance, and this is mental endurance. From the outside, they look like two completely different processes, but I believe they are the same, not just in how you build them, but also how they break. And it starts with an experiment I did 2 months ago. I decided to play a game for 30 hours over the course of a month to see the difference in improvement with research versus without research. During this experiment, I was able to play between 1 to 2 hours per day and ended up improving much more with research. But after finishing this experiment, I wanted to see how much my skill would drop if I stopped playing for 30 days. And my expectation was that I would find a consistent pattern for skill decay across a length of time. But after 30 days, when I came back to play the game again, I noticed something strange. My skill was still perfectly fine. It didn't noticeably drop. I even beat my old PR 30 days ago. What actually surprised me was that in this session, I was only able to play about 30 minutes before my brain felt like shutting down. And that's when it hit me. Compared to the 1 to 2 hour sessions, my mental endurance decayed much more dramatically. So here's where it gets interesting. Let me ask you about an experience you might be familiar with. Have you ever tried playing a game you haven't played in a while? Let's say you used to play League of Legends every day, but when you tried getting back into it, you could only play one game and you got tired of it and uninstalled. But you didn't forget how to play your champion. Skill barely dropped, but endurance did. But it doesn't stop there. The same pattern arises in physical endurance. When you haven't done cardio in a while, what usually happens? Your cardio goes down and you get tired easily. But you don't forget how to run. Matt Sheldon, a pro soccer player, decided to do a fitness test 4 months post-retirement, and his fitness level dropped below the standardized test. But he didn't forget how to kick a ball. Skill barely dropped, but endurance did. So what's going on? I decided to ask psychologist Dr. Schmalbrock on what he suspected is going on for mental endurance, and he gave me 2 clues: stop/start control and attention. In psychology, there's a proposed concept called stop control and start control, and the way it works is pretty simple. Stop control is the behavior to stop yourself from doing what you want, like scrolling on your phone. And start control is getting yourself to start a task you may not like running. And attention is the stimuli your brain chooses to be aware of. But we also know that skill is part of the equation. Skill is the action committed after receiving a stimulus. So how do these all fit together? All of these fit under the term behavior. The one property of behavior is that unused behavior degrades over time. This explains why skill, if unused, slowly degrades over time, and the same goes for attention. But more importantly, mental endurance is the cumulative effect of these behaviors. Let me give you an example. You boot up a game you haven't played in a while, you join a lobby, and an enemy catches you off guard and kills you instantly. So you activate a start control to start paying attention. You want to peek around the corner lazily, but you activate a stop control to not engage a bad fight. You properly peek with attention and activate your skill to get a clean kill, but then get immediately caught off guard and killed by someone else. While you're respawning, you're thinking about other games to play or food you want to eat. But wait, you have to pay attention, so you activate another stop control to not think about food or other games, and so on and so forth. The cumulative effect of all these behaviors activating over and over depletes your cognitive fuel, which is why mental fatigue settles in. Compare that to booting up a game, playing the same character, same guns, same playstyle. You expect an enemy at a very specific timing, so you focus attention, see an enemy, and activate your skill for a short moment, and continue autopiloting. This allows you to play for much longer. So how does this tie into physical endurance? Now, I'm no physiologist, but I know that physical endurance is also a cumulative effect, such as ATP production, VO2 max, muscle degradation, and other specific ones I may not know about. But the main point is this. Because physical endurance and mental endurance degrades after a prolonged break, it means endurance of any kind breaks because of inconsistency, but also that it builds with consistency. For example, if I asked you which builds more physical endurance, running 1 mile every day versus running a 30-mile marathon once a month, 1 mile a day is more likely to build endurance. The same can be said about mental endurance. A cognitive task 1 hour every day for 2 weeks versus the same task for 14 hours straight once every 2 weeks. 1 hour a day is more likely to build endurance. Now I know this might not be a big surprise, but I think the value comes from something simple. If your bottleneck is not being able to perform a physical or mental task for a prolonged period of time, the only thing you're missing is consistency. And I think that is a very useful insight.